What's going on, everybody? Refrigerator Door MMA. I just want to go through a quick breakdown of the fights from last night as I record this. UFC 307, Pereira versus Rountree Jr. So I'm going to go through, break down kind of what I thought pre-fight, what I saw during the fight, and then kind of give some post-fight analysis. So stick with me. I want to be doing more of these in the future. Without further ado, peace. I made some predictions. I didn't post it, but I'm just going to go through my predictions and kind of compare them to the outcomes, give some thoughts on the fights. So I'm going to start here with Wonderboy and Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley won via TKO in the third round, 217 in. This was a tough one for me. I had Wonderboy, not because I was being rational, but because I love him. So Joaquin Buckley was a pretty heavy favorite. I actually thought that the odds on Wonderboy were good. But, and I think until that third round, when that knockout came, I think that was a pretty good choice, actually. Buckley he looked like he was on the back foot a lot more than Wonderboy was. I think Wonderboy looked a lot sharper. So, yeah, I think that was a tough loss for Wonderboy. He's 41. I think he's now lost a couple straight. Let's see. Let's look at his last couple fights. He lost to Shavkat. He beat Kevin Holland, who decided not to use his brain. And then he lost to Bilal and Gilbert Burns. His last good win, not against Kevin Holland, is 2020. So that's a tough loss for him. I still think he's got, a lot of fight left in him, but that's a tough loss to take at his age, and a great win for Joaquin Buckley. I think that was a pretty ferocious knockout, so good for him. Next fight, first fight on the main card, Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira. I had this one by finish. I thought maybe submission in the second round, but Kayla Harrison did pull it out via decision, unanimous, of course. She did, when I was watching, I thought she definitely didn't, she had one round taken off of her, which was honestly kind of crazy to me. She was supposed to be unbeatable, and she did not look unbeatable, but Ketlen Vieira is the number 2 bantamweight in the world as far as the women's division is considered. So I think it was a pretty decent showing for Ketlen Vieira, and I don't think it actually made Kayla Harrison look that great. I do think she looks better than both of the people who fought in the co-main event, and I'll get to that later. I have some pretty strong feelings on that, as well as the next fight. But Kayla Harrison should be in a title fight soon. I don't see any reason why Juliana Pena should be waiting for Amanda Nunes to come back. Amanda Nunes doesn't give a fuck about Juliana Pena. She beat her once when she was trying and lost once when she wasn't. If she comes back, it'll be for Kayla Harrison. So, next fight, Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland. I had Kevin Holland. He's the favorite, so I thought that was... I was actually surprised to see he was the favorite, but I thought that he would pull this one out. I thought that maybe Roman Dolidze would try to grapple a little bit, and Kevin Holland would catch him in a submission. He's got great jiu-jitsu. I think he's a black belt. And I thought that maybe he would learn from some of his previous fights, like, with Michael Venom Page, he just got outstruck. So I thought maybe he would try to take it to the ground and use his skill set, Maybe he would try to strike and lock up a submission or something. I was disappointed. Roman Dolidze won, but I do think we'll see what the injury is, but it looked like he maybe popped a rib right at the end of the first round, and I thought he was just talking shit, honestly, but I guess not. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think Kevin Holland is kind of screwed. I don't know if he'll fall out of the top 15. It was an injury, so but he was getting beat up pretty bad. And I don't know. I mean, Roman Dolidze sucks. I don't think he's very good at all. I think that if you don't beat Anthony Smith to a pulp, you probably aren't very good, and he didn't. But he, this was at 185, so maybe that was better. I don't know. Maybe it's a better cup for him. Maybe he's a natural 185er. So we'll see. He looked good. Aldo and Batista. What the fuck? Aldo should have won this fight. Not just should have, like, you know, if the fight had gone a little differently. He should have, like, I think he won this fight. I seriously think he won this fight. Batista did nothing. All fight. He did absolutely nothing. He sat around, pushed him up against the fence. I think it was 0 of 10. 0 of 10 takedowns. 90 total strikes, meaning 87 knees to the thigh, and 2 jabs, and 1 right hook. 49 significant strikes. That's the story, right? That's the story. Significant strikes favors Aldo, and that's considering he was held up against the fence for, 13 of the 15 minutes. I think Aldo looked really good. I think all the things he said before the fight were right. I think we did see a version of Aldo that we didn't necessarily expect to see. And I'm excited for the future. I don't know who he's going to fight now because he just lost to number 11. But I don't think he should have lost to number 11. So I hope that the matchmakers can look at that fight and see that Aldo looks sharp. He looked like he's really could make a run. I mean, I don't know if he's championship material. I don't think he beats Merab. I think we've seen that. But I don't know. I think it'd be an interesting fight for O'Malley or Sandhagen or one of those guys. That's a little bit less grappling heavy. I thought he looked great. Takedown defense was incredible. He managed to stay on his feet. He had a really weird tactic to kind of defend the takedowns, which the commentary team talked about way too much. But standing on one leg was weird. So that's interesting. He doesn't really speak English, so I guess I won't hear about it. But all right, the co-main event. The P-break fight. I predicted Aldo on the last one, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. The bathroom break fight, I picked Pena, not because I actually thought she would win. I don't think she won. I think she lost. I think Raquel Pennington did way more damage, and I think that is what we should be judging on if I'm going to call the Aldo fight the way I did. She did almost have a submission locked up a couple times. One rear naked choke that looked really close. I actually thought that Pennington was going to tap. But all in all, I think Pennington actually should have probably left with the belt. But, I don't know. The grappling, right? That's the whole thing. I don't think that... Let's look. Let's see what this fight was about. Because I'm curious. 2 takedowns. 2 of 3. That's good. 1 submission attempt. Yeah, that 1 rear naked choke. But I think Raquel Pennington had a nice knockdown. And I think that the striking discrepancy is actually greater than you think. The one thing that I'm okay with is that I don't think that Raquel Pennington is a 135er. I think she's a 125er. She looked like Jamal Hill with the flopping out over her shorts, and I don't know. I think she could kill at 125. I think she'd be great. So I think that maybe she should try that. She's obviously going to want a rematch. I think Kayla Harrison gets a fight first, and then Amanda Nunes is going to come back, and by then it'll be December of next year, and you might as well just, throw her in 125 and see what she can do. She might actually want to be active. Pena probably doesn't. So, main event, I picked Alex Pereira. I didn't pick him in the 4th round with 28 seconds left. I didn't pick him by TKO. I thought it was going to be a first-round knockout. I thought he was going to sleep Rountree. And Rountree was winning going into the 4th round. He was getting beat up pretty bad at the end of the 3rd. And all through the 4th, it was kind of clear that it was Alex's fight to lose. But he had taken 2 rounds off the champ going into the 4th. And I thought he looked incredible. A lot of people, I know the strike discrepancy is pretty heavy, but, there was a lot of leg kicks by Alex. I don't think they show the breakdown here, but there was a ton of leg kicks by Alex, which are counted as significant strikes, I think, by the looks. And I think that particularly in the first and second round, there was just some big shots that, or first and I don't know, maybe third. There were some big shots by Rountree that really impressed a lot of people. I think that the numbers tell the story of how the fight really went, more so than, you know, what I recall watching the fight. I was nervous. I wanted Alex to win. I wanted him to have the consecutive title defenses in shortest period of time. I wanted him to have that record. I like to see records be broken. And, you know, there's something cool about Alex Pereira, but I think we were scared. You know, everybody who wanted Alex to win was scared. I thought it was an incredible performance by Khalil Rountree. I think Khalil Rountree is probably a lot better than his ranking suggested going into the fight. I think Alex did say he had a tough training camp, and so maybe that's a contributing factor, but I don't know. I think Rountree showed that he's a lot better than people gave him credit for, and I'm interested to see who they match him up with in the future. I think he sleeps Jamal Hill bad. Looking back on that matchup that had to be canceled, I think he sleeps Jamal Hill bad. I think he puts him to bed forever. I don't see anybody else in this division that beats him. Maybe Ankalaev, but that's a grappling advantage. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So a lot of significant strikes to the legs. These were all a lot. I mean, late it was, you know, more kicks by Rountree. He didn't kick for the first like 3 rounds, but yeah. So I had Alex. I had him my first round KO. Rountree blew my socks off. I was blown away. I thought he played. I thought he had an incredible fight. I thought he did a wonderful job of picking his shots and blitzing well. Through a few nice combinations, and I really think there was a couple times we've seen Alex's chin fail him, albeit at 185, but I think that we could have seen Rountree actually leave with the belt if Alex wasn't careful in the first round, particularly, and into the second. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think I'm going to be doing fight predictions and breakdowns pre-fight, and then go through my predictions afterward, post-fight, and kind of break down what did happen versus what I expected to happen in the future. I'm excited to see John Jones duck Tom Aspinall next month. So let me know what your thoughts are, and thanks for joining. Peace.